Hi, I'm Sgt Dundon. I'm Town Centre Neighbourhood Policing Sergeant for Blackburn Town Centre.
Sergeant, tell us about the Blackburn Town Centre Neighbourhood Policing Team.
Yes, we've got a dedicated Town Centre policing team for Blackburn Town Centre now, with myself as the sergeant. And I'm pleased to say that just in the last couple of weeks, we've had a small reshuffle around the office, and it's been decided that I'm going to now take sole responsibility for the town centre, whereas previously I had responsibility for another part of the town. So I can now dedicate myself fully to the town centre. We've also got Paul and Emma, our two permanent PCs, who were funded by the BID and also by the council, which is fantastic. They've been in post now for just over a year, and I think we're all beginning to see the real benefits of them being here permanently and the consistency and approach that they bring. We've got 4 permanent PCSOs who are based in the town. Hass was replaced by Luke and Ryan, who are more than capable and have demonstrated a real tenacity already. And they're obviously here with Niall and Veronica, who will be familiar to probably everybody. And we also have our 5 seconded officers who come on a rotating 8-week basis from the immediate response teams.
And 2020 has obviously been a really difficult year. How has the pandemic affected yours and your team's work in the town centre over the last 12 months?
Well, yeah, you're not wrong. It's certainly been difficult for us all, and has changed a lot of our working patterns. I suppose the obvious thing in and around the town centre is the nighttime economy, and the hospitality venues have pretty much shut down. The number of incidents around drunkenness and antisocial behaviour have been reduced, and some of the violent crime, unfortunately, that's associated with pubs and such. The number of shoplifting has been reduced. The daily shoplifting, with the numbers of shops that have been open, that's been reduced significantly. And what we have been able to do there is target some of the more prolific offenders and take some really positive action against those individuals. We have seen an increase in some of the street drinking around the town centre, particularly through the summer months, where people perhaps didn't have as much to do, and they resorted to drinking around the streets. And with the streets being less busy, I suppose they became a bit more visible to people, particularly those who work in the town, with the footfall being reduced. So we've done quite a bit of work with, in particular around Fleming Square, to try and improve things there, working with the council to improve the CCTV, cut down some of the trees that hindered our visibility and let them hide a little bit. And we've worked with the MAL and the BBAC in providing some radios to some of those businesses, and that problem seems to have gone away. We've also had the PSPO that came into place in early December, which is a public space protection order which prohibits quite a lot of antisocial behaviour, drug activity, begging, etc. around the town. And that's really starting to take effect now. And shortly we'll be in a position to start issuing fixed penalty tickets that will be managed by the councils. I suppose the other challenges have been around the COVID regulations and face coverings and gatherings, etc. So we work closely with the college and got some key messages out to parents and also to the students, and the college sent some staff out to try and help us enforce that mask wearing, and that seems to have improved significantly. We also had a challenge around gatherings on the Cathedral Quarter around the Queen Victoria Monument, with some of the young people skateboarding and a bit of graffiti and drinking and antisocial behaviour. But again, working with the partners at the council and yourselves at the BID, we've managed to fence that area off now, and the college helped us with some key messages. It's been difficult for everybody. You know, the working environment's changed. The wearing of face coverings around the office and around the MAL, we all know that that's not particularly pleasant, and the daily change of the legislation, it felt at times, people having to come to grips with what is and isn't permitted has been a real challenge. But they've really stuck through that, and we've been able to really tackle some of the key issues that have been facing, you know, the workers, the shopkeepers, the public in the town centre. Particularly the PSPO, working with partners on evidencing the issues to enable that to come back into force. That's been a really good piece of work, and we are starting to see the benefits of that. Another big achievement for the team in the town, and it's not just our team, but it's across the whole town centre partnership that we have, has been the pods up at Shadsworth, which has helped us remove some of the homeless people who were frequenting the town centre and some of the antisocial behaviour that comes with them. So there's been, you know, that we can't take the credit for that. The community safety team at the council did an amazing piece of work in funding and sourcing and identifying those suitable for the pods, and the ongoing work and the engagement work that they're doing with those people. But we've assisted in identifying suitable candidates, engaging with them, explaining what the expectations are for them, and supporting them in the move up to Shadsworth. And we've seen a real improvement in that there are very few homeless people around the town centre at the moment, and hopefully the longer term aim of that project is to help them to sort their lives out and move forward without resorting to being homeless in the town. And also Morrison's car park, which was a place where some of the homeless were frequenting, and that was unsightly for the shoppers, and some of the antisocial behaviour that brought. Again, that seems to have been resolved over the years. So there's been some really good work in some really challenging circumstances. I think the relationship that we have with the council, with the BID, has been really strengthened by the fact that we now have Paul and Emma, our two dedicated police officers funded by the BID and the council. They bring that consistency. They understand the problems. They're here day in, day out, and they are able to build relationships with partners, build relationships with some of the challenging individuals as well, which really helps, and supported by the PCSOs. Myself, having been in post now for 18 months, I think that's really, really great. So it's that, by having the dedicated officers, having that consistency, they understand the problems, they understand the problem solving. I think that's been really helpful. The partners get to know the officers, we get to build those relationships, so it makes it much easier to solve the problems in that partnership way. We've worked with the BID security, with Anis and his team at Prestige, the meme. Marie and Barbara have been really great, and Tyler at CGL, some of the work she's done more recently when she's in post has been really, really good. The community safety team at the council have been fantastic, as of the college and the MAL, with some of the issues that we've had. John Bonney at the CCTV room as well, though let's not leave John out. There's a real core group of partners who will regularly speak and to work with the sole aim of improving our town centre. Looking
ahead to this year, 2021, to the extent that you can, what do the next few months hold for your team?
Well, looking ahead to the rest of 2021, I think we're starting to see light at the end of the tunnel now, I think, with the vaccination programme. I think the biggest challenge initially will be the opening up of town, and particularly the nighttime economy. I think reflect back to the first couple of weeks in July, when there was a little bit of antisocial behaviour when people came back out to the pubs. So that will be a challenge inevitably. We've got a new inspector, Scott Borst, who has previously been a town centre officer in Blackburn, so he knows the area really well. And I know he's really committed to us looking at look really deeply into problem solving, so we can look at the problems that we have, and we will lead on the problem solving, share best practice across the country if needs be. I've already been speaking to John Bonney at CCTV about a project there where we're looking to perhaps see if we can get a police officer to work permanently in there. And Emma and Veronica have got a problem-oriented policing project where they're looking to try and improve some of the reporting from some of the shops around theft and minor assaults and antisocial behaviour, so that we can encourage the shops to report things, to provide us with witness statements, to provide us with CCTV evidence, and so they understand the process. And that's another good piece of work that's being supported by the BID and being supported by the BBAC as well. So that we should start seeing the fruits of that in the next few weeks.
Do you have a message for Blackburn Town Centre BID members?
Thank you for supporting us. Thank you on behalf of Paul and Emma for supporting us. My message is always report. Make sure you tell us what your problems are, record it, and then we know what's happening and we can deal with it. Use your town centre radios. We can't always promise to be there, but we'll do our best. And finally, don't tolerate beggars. The people who are begging, they might seem harmless, they might seem like they're homeless. Very often they're not. Let's use the powers that we've got with the Public Space Protection Order, and we'll improve the quality of the town centre for all of us.
Thank you very much for that update, Sergeant. That's really helpful, and a huge thank you for all your help, hard work and support on behalf of the BID businesses and town centre businesses. You've done a fantastic job in extremely difficult circumstances, so thank you.
Thank you.